Hey guys, it's Courtney with the Kitchen Garten, and I'm just trying to update you on how my no spend garden challenge is going. So let's get started. Okay, so a couple weeks ago I released my first video about how I was trying to not spend any money or to spend as little as possible to get my spring and hopefully even summer garden in and grown. And so yes, it's exciting. And you see all this junk here because I have been inventorying everything I have. I kind of showed you things that I had run across and things that I had found. And so you can go back and watch that video if you want to just see me kind of assess my supplies. My hands are dirty because I've been digging through. But I wanted to share with you guys some things that I've learned since that last video. So I have always started some seed at home, and that is one great way to save money. I had tons of seeds, which is why which is one of the motivations for doing this. However, last week I sat in on Joe the Gardener's seed starting masterclass because I am always trying to figure out how to do things better. And the last couple of years I've really struggled to get my seeds to produce, the ones that I started at home, because I also help with our local master gardeners in planting those seeds, and they always do really well. The plants are beautiful and they're great. So I just assumed it was something that I was doing. And again, as a gardener, we always want to learn. Well, it turns out that it's the seed starting medium that I was using. So let me pull that out real fast. So I have been using Burpee's seed starting blocks, which are so great and so useful because they are in this dried block, and I'm able to just rehydrate because it's coconut coir. And even in my DIY potting soil mix, I have been recommending the use of coconut coir over peat moss because it's more environmentally sustainable. There's peat bogs, they just require so much time to fully develop to make that usable, and coconut coir, of course, is pretty readily available. So, but last year and the year before I used this and just didn't get the results. So taking his masterclass last week, which I'll link to his information below because it was great, and you can even become a part of his seed starting group, which only opens up once a year. I'm not a part of that yet, but I will consider in the future because this was just so informative. He started some seeds in coconut coir, which this is just 100% coconut coir, and you can see it there on the back. 100% coconut coir, nothing else. So there's no other like fertilizers or amendments or anything in this, just coconut coir. And Joe the Gardener tried that himself, even within his controlled environment. It took his seeds a month to even just sprout. The difference between the seeds grown in just a traditional seed starting mix, I think he used Pro Mix, and the ones started in coconut coir, it was staggering. So now I'm thinking that this is my issue and not me. So that did make me feel a little bit better. So this year I'm still trying to use what I have. I have coconut coir, but I'm gonna amend it. And 2 years ago somebody sent me the Zen Hen and the honeybees mix for seed starting, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to post her YouTube link below because she does use coconut coir, but it was only part of it. So we're going to amend this, and that'll be in a different video. We're going to amend this with some compost, with some perlite and vermiculite, and a little bit of fertilizer as well, and see if that can make a significant difference for me this year. And I have all that on hand. So still no spend. We're trucking on. 2, something that I forgot to mention in the first video is bartering. So whether that be a traditional like seed swap, I need some seeds and somebody else has some seed, that is something that I'm going to be engaging in as I figure out exactly what I need. I think I need a little bit more okra, so I'm gonna ask around and see if anybody has something that they want to trade. But also, this was very random and just kind of came out of the blue. I posted on Facebook Marketplace, this big decorative mirror I was getting rid of, 25 bucks, something like that. And a friend of mine messaged me and said, well, would you be willing to barter? I said, well, I never really thought about it, but they have a homestead, and she offered me any kind of berry bushes or plants that they had, and yes, so so I'm still not spending anything, but I've bartered. So yesterday I got, for the price of that, toting that mirror to her, some tomato stuff, some strawberry plants. And it has been raining for the last 3 days, so I haven't been able to do much with them. Okay, here we go. So some beautiful strawberry plants that still have blooms on them, so I got to get these bad boys in the ground. It'll probably be tomorrow, but that's exciting. So I was able to barter for these, so I didn't spend. And if you know anything about strawberries, you know that these will go on to produce sister plants, and as long as I divide and move, like, we should have just a really thriving little strawberry patch. So that's so great. So if you hadn't considered, I'm actually going to leave all these out now. If you hadn't considered bartering as part of a way to save money in the garden, then give it a shot. Remove that. All right, so the bartering, and then I was just looking again, cleaning some stuff out. Y'all, I had some fertilizer for rose bushes in my laundry room that expired 10 years ago. I've barely lived in this house 12 years. So anyways, it's been a while. But I ran across these. Yeah. From starting seeds in the past. Unpopular opinion, I'm gonna wash them, but I'm not gonna sanitize them. I don't love bleach, and I'm not totally convinced that it's absolutely necessary unless there have been some infected plants in them, and I've never really had that be the case. So finding some extra things, bartering, and I'll be making my own amended soil starter because the Burpee just seems like it's not going to do the trick, and I don't want to fail because I really need it to work out this year. So we have some jets flying overhead, so hold on. Okay, so to update you on the $2.50 that I did spend this week on the garden, and that was for Yukon Gold potatoes. So I'm about to cut these so that I can hopefully get more plants out of each potato to make the best use of it. But I did have to spend a little bit of money on this because I didn't save any last year to plant, and that was my bad. So I will try to save some seed potatoes for this year. And Yukon Gold are my favorite. Such a buttery, delicious flavor. So $2.50 spent. I don't think that's too bad so far this year, because normally I would have spent a whole lot more. I'm going to amend the soil, and I'm going to post that in a different video, and everything I mentioned below I'm going to link. So hit subscribe if you want to follow along, and the no spend garden season continues. Thanks, guys.